What are YouTube? It's Sir back it again with another video. I'm doing another video journal. And today I want to talk about like just communicating with people with overactive egos. And I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna be kind of ranting just because I just hate it. And I will just so that we know everything that we're talking about, I want to like describe things and break it down. This is what really bothers me, right? Because like if you study linguistics is like the study of like how languages are basically created. Languages are created from like just sounds of like people just talking. Like different sounds have like different representations of like different things, but then every language kind of have like follow that same formula. So like there's like this study saying that if you try to make your own language, it'll have to follow a specific formula for it to even make sense. So like no matter what, every language kind of have the same formula. That's the reason why like if you're able to learn a second language, you can learn like 10 of them after that because your brain kind of understand the pattern of the simple formula that every language kind of follows. So if you think of that, communication is a skill because really when you're talking, you're not really hearing words. Like yeah, you're hearing words, but your brain is automatically like translating it for you. So if you think about it, communicating is a skill because even though you're talking, you don't know if you understand what I'm saying completely. Like, yeah, you understand, but it's because I'm using simple words. But if I'm using words like I don't know, if I use the word robbery, one person might think, oh man, like, a criminal offense. Another person might think, oh, the Juice World song, or like a rap song or something. I don't know, but like just that's just like a crazy example, but at the same time, that's basically what I'm trying to get at. So communication is a skill just because of the simple fact that like you have to know and understand that, and like people just like automatically think that they can do it, and that's the reason why like overactive egos kind of come into play. And now I'm going to talk about egos. Egos is basically like just like labeling things. Like everyone has an ego, and I hate when like spiritual people just talk about like, yeah, don't use your ego, don't judge. It is literally impossible for you not to use your ego. It's like if you really think about it, and if you was really like spiritual and understand a lot of things, you understand that everything is kind of one, and your ego is the main tool you use to separate things in the world because it's too much for all of us to handle and understand all at once. So you have to break it down. And the only way to break it down is using your ego. Your ego is able to label things and separate them, and then you tap into your memory using ego, which is crazy because like memory isn't even really like a real thing. You just like you kind of make up whatever you remember and you try to like relive it inside your head. So like really every memory is like a just a reconstructed imagination version of what you do remember. That's the reason why like memory is terrible. That's the reason why like in like investigations they need as many witnesses as possible because everyone just remember a little bit of whatever they do remember. And even then it might not be actually what happened compared to if you like got a freaking camera footage or something. If egos is just like labeling things and separating them so that we can understand it, ego is also like if you're labeling things, you're also able to compare things with ego as well. And that's where the judging comes in. And it's kind of okay to judge. I feel like it's a part like of awareness to be able to judge like, oh, okay, this person might be a little mentally ill. Let's make sure he's okay and understand certain things. And at least like, we don't have to ostracize people. I feel like that was the problem. People just automatically trying to ostracize people. You shouldn't just try to get rid of people. The thing is like awareness is key, and using ego with awareness is good. Overactive ego is bad with awareness because you're not technically aware sometimes. Like sometimes you fall into pits of like ignorance. And then I'm gonna get to that later on. But what I feel like egos is also used just to compare things. When you're comparing things, right? You need your ego. That's how you figure out your values, your priorities, what this person is, what I am. You know what I'm saying? And just because you're semi different and your ego can't identify that, you can also understand that we're all in the same. at the same time. It's just like math is math. We could learn calculus, but even in calculus, there's still subtraction and addition. So you could always just simplify everything. You feel me? Like there's multiplication, but then you could just simplify it into groups, and then at that point you'll still get the answer. You could simplify anything complex if you really tried. You know what I'm saying? Anything complex can, well, anything simple can turn complex, and anything complex can turn simple if you really tried, or if you really try to push the extremes of those things. That's why like communication kind of comes into key. Overactive egos is like people who just think whatever they ego already thought was the thing is going to be that thing. And then the main issue to that fact is that your mind, which is like also a part of your ego, will start picking out certain things just to be like, oh, okay, well, this happened, so this happened. So no matter what happens, this is always going to happen. You feel me? And you could plug in anything inside this kind of context. Like at that point, you could really plug in anything. The key to the quota I'm trying to get at is that either the brain is kind of like just a shortcut, or the overactive like egoist use it as like a shortcut just to try to figure out like what's really like going on inside reality. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a big eye. Like if someone's an asshole and they're just an asshole. And personally, me, I'm an asshole compared to a really good person. You know what I'm saying? Like a really good guy. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I just like to be so blunt until I can turn out to be that way. I ask other people and they can confirm that I can be an asshole sometimes. I feel like most times I can if I really wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? But there's really good people out there who don't think on those terms, who want to be that realistic, you know? It's kind of like that really good person, you know? And there's a third party. Boom. Let's just say there's a third party there, right? Whatever I let slide, which I won't let anything slide on me, you know, meaning what I let happen to me, if someone tried to like steal my food, I'm not gonna let that happen. I'll probably take out of your food. You know what I'm saying? But if it's the good guy and he just let him steal the food, that third party is most likely going to implement, especially if they're an overactive egoist, they're going to implement the idea that, oh, okay, so I could continuously go ahead and take whenever I want, you know? Meaning it doesn't have to be all the time, but it's whenever I want to. And I feel like anyone you just allow to get that access, they better be pretty important to you. Like family member, like that's my child kind of important. And I feel like parenting is a whole nother level too, because that's a skill as well. People don't even want to talk about that. I was really just gonna call this a rant a little bit too, just because like there's this this whole entire world is full of people with like overactive egos, and they don't even really understand it, you know, because like there's spiritual people out there who says that they don't even use ego, but it's like I said before, it's literally impossible to not use your ego. You use it on a daily basis. You wouldn't be able to identify anything separated from anything if you didn't use ego. That's basically what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like they wanted to mystify it so bad type, but it's nothing to mystify. Really, I feel like back then philosophers was just calling things things until we could find better terms just to define them. That's it. That's it. So everything back then was basically like just a metaphor. And I feel like people are just gonna like try to blow me up for it or something. You feel me? Like they not even gonna listen. But literally, if you just keep watching my videos and everything, because weekly I'm gonna be doing certain videos like this, I'm gonna just start explaining my principles and how I think and everything, just weekly in general. Understanding how to communicate and how to listen, because like people with overarching egos, this is what they do, right? See, I even got a list. Ready? Some people are just argumentative. And what I mean by argumentative, basically, right? If they have an overarching, overactive ego, basically when they're argumentative, you could say something like, so I like chocolate on strawberries. It's real good. they'll hear that, and even if they do like chocolate with strawberries, they'll be like, but that's bad for you. You know what I'm saying? And then you could be like, oh, okay, just because you want to be a safe guy, just because you want to be cool. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. I should just start eating them with regular. And then they'll just pull up a memory. Maybe sometimes you can because I had my fiance and we ate chocolate with strawberries or something. You feel me? And you know what I'm saying, we was in the bed and everything got all And then you sitting up here like, so which one is it? Hmm, hmm, hmm. Now there's also overactive egos like who make something of this world like their top priority. Now, what I mean by that, right? Because like there's a lot of things of this world, and what I mean is things that's like even like metaphysical, like just in the mind. Like so people could like with their egos, they could make love their most pleasurable thing, like basically their god. They could make money their god, they make power their god, honor their god, or clout what they call now. They could make so many things like their god without them even knowing, just because they don't understand what their ego is doing and how to prioritize things. Like the main thing you should just prioritize is life. Like if you can't just sit inside of a room in complete silence for like 30 minutes to an hour with nothing touching and messing with you or anything, then you got a problem there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something wrong that we're gonna have to fix. Just because you should be able to do that. You should be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there always are is going to be negative thoughts. Yeah, boredom is actually like a physical pain they say that can acquire like headaches sometimes. But at the same difference, you should be able to just sit there and chill and let the creative thoughts flow. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be as torturous as it should. You shouldn't need to escape all the time and then having to validate your overactive ego with whatever proof that you find inside the universe. Because you're gonna find the proof. There's everything is in the universe. Like everything is here. Like everything we know is here. Like what do you how how else we gonna know it? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes some things are metaphysical, meaning that it's an idea. Yeah, okay, that's true. But at the same time, like everything is still here. If it's an idea, you're trying to bring it into fruition, and even then the way you could bring it into fruition is through a story or writing. So in a way, technically you did bring it into fruition if you're able to transfer the same idea to someone else's brain, even if they're able to imagine it in their own way. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it's still here. uh and that's the reason why like I explain love to, you know what I'm saying, like some people will say, oh yeah, because I love him, this is the reason why I love you, feel me? Like, let the dude put the hands on me or something, you know what I'm saying, just because I love them, or you feel me? And like it's crazy out here. And some people just think the world is just easy to manipulate, and you are too. And that's the problem. Everyone is able to get manipulated. Even like I tried to sit around when ever since I was like 13, 14, and like what, I'm almost 24 now. So ever since I was like 13, 14, I used to sit around just trying to learn manipulation tactics. But really because I was just paranoid, because I felt like just like knowing that someone would try to control you is some crazy works, and I never wanted to get into no crazy stupid situation. Now, did that stop me a lot? Yeah. Do I get in analysis paralysis a lot? Yeah. But I don't mind overthinking just a little bit more than most, and not going to no stupid thing that I feel like deep down I didn't want to get into, and it was going to kill my happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I got a all right job, you feel me? And it take up most of my day, I'm chilling. And I still feel like this is the plan, and everyone should try to find a little plan, second, third program, just because the world that we live in isn't controlled by any of us, and it's with people with overactive egos. So then you add in two and two and three to three together, people are just going to be around here trying to manipulate you. You know what I'm saying? That's why you need more awareness and understanding on how you want to operate inside those situations. The main key I want to get out there is just to respond. You know what I'm saying? Don't react. You know what I'm saying? So understand what's coming in and then be able to pick your response. You know what I'm saying? Like some girls allow themselves to get manipulated. They know. They say this is their fun time. And the next thing you know, they're gonna come up with a random excuse just to get out of it when they start feeling like they're getting too old just to find a real man and then go marry them. That is the plan. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're allowing themselves to get manipulated. Yeah, they're allowing themselves to get whatever the f goes behind those doors. That because we only know the bad stuff when it's really bad and like they have to call the police or people from outside just to help their situation. We don't know anything else. We don't know how like the girls operated. We don't know how the guys operated. We don't know if the guy's been doing it the whole entire time, or we don't even know if the guy was the best guy ever and he dang near flipped for that one time, and that one time was just bad enough because, like, some people just hold things in. You know what I'm saying? So it could be anything at that point, and people just like spectrum on their mentality is just like so minuscule. You know what I'm saying? That's why awareness, because like letting yourself just let not thinking and letting your ego just do whatever, because your ego just want to take the shortcut. This is what it is. I learned this before, so this is what it is. That's what your ego want to do. But then you kind of block yourself in, and the way you block yourself in is by thinking inside those small, minuscule ways. You got to be more aware of what's really going on. You got to be aware that someone might be trying to just get you to think a certain way. Most of these commercials are just trying to get you to think a certain way. And the crazy thing is, they know that we're starting to understand manipulation, so they're just getting better at advertising it. They're just putting it more into the ads so that we remember the ads more, which is manipulation because they're trying to just put it in our minds anyway, meaning that they accepted the goal. Like it works with everyone. It works with me, and I literally studied manipulation tactics. I don't use them, but I understand when someone trying to use them on me just because of the fact. So I will say this: if you guys are on a self improvement journey and you're trying to learn how to communicate, first thing you need to do, try to understand when someone's telling the truth and when someone's lying. Now, just doing that alone, you'll need a lot of communication skills. You need to be able to listen. You need to be able to communicate yourself. Know what happens when people lie or not lie. Maybe learn some body language here and there. Understanding like just little different things. You know what I'm saying? But once you put that on and understand that, you'll be set. You'll be set. But I don't I don't know. I'm kind of done venting. I don't want to vent no more. Um, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know. This is really for me. I wanted to put this out. Um, like I said, I'm gonna do these weekly, and it's just whatever thoughts be ruminating on my mind. Just because like I don't know, I'm always like doing this self improvement stuff, and I'm always like introspecting and really going deep into my thoughts. But a lot of times I forget them. So yeah, let me know if y'all want to watch these. I'm gonna just keep posting them at least until I get to like 100 videos, and then try to switch it up. Just because it seems like at the 100 video point, most YouTubers just kind of make a new channel or something, just because like some YouTube channels they be out for years and they only got like 500 videos. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I don't break it at 100, shoot, this might not be for me. At least not this channel. But y'all let me know. I'm gonna go. Gotta go.